You are watching Access LaPorte County Channel 97. Coming up next is the December 19th meeting of the Trail Creek Town Council. You can find more information for this meeting at www.accesslaportecounty.org.
All right, let's go join me in saying pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to our final meeting of the year. We'll start off tonight with the approval of the minutes from the November meeting.
So the only thing that I saw was there was no mention of Mike from the street department about him explaining how the leaf pickup was done or any of that. There was none of that in
I
the
did
minutes.
put on the last bullet point, street department Mike Vincent explained to the public the leaf pickup in detail. Under the street department.
We must be missing
Yeah,
a
we're
page
missing that
then,
page, so I don't have it.
We only have 2 pages.
Oh, it didn't ebb and flow for you very well, did it?
No.
It's backside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember I asked you, I said we don't have this whole portion of it.
Yeah.
Can we have copies of that?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I don't think any of us have seen it, so.
I kind of noticed it went from Park right to, and then it was Haas, and then public comment, but yeah, none of the other.
It's supposed to be double-sided.
Yeah.
I apologize, my assistant did the packets, so.
Okay.
Okay.
So we could take a minute to pass that.
Yeah,
So if you want to read them, and I'll give them to Warren and Sharon. Actually, if you want to give them to Sharon next, and then we'll
Yep.
take them down here.
Street guys hit it out of the park at the end.
we did.
Well, we're going to get to that in a minute.
They had a strong ninth inning.
We're going to get there in just a minute. But you-
Yes.
I think it was the 10th and 11th inning.
So Sharon, if you'll take a minute to read through those, and that way Warren and I can look as well, because we don't have copies.
I thought this one, November the 8th was supposed to be the last date. No?
For,
For pickup for lease.
it was supposed to be, we had to extend it by a week. So it was supposed to be December 8th.
I thought so, I thought that was
Yeah.
mentioned.
And then-
It says November 7th on here.
Because that was last month's meeting minutes,
Right,
and that was for sticks, limbs, and branches.
right.
Oh,
Right.
okay, that was with that one, okay.
Thank you. And then if you don't mind sharing, we'll read at the same time, just in the interest of time. Okay. Council, do you have any questions or comments on the meeting minutes or corrections?
I move to accept the minutes from the November meeting.
And a second?
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Moving on to payment of the bills. I'm sorry, the fund report. skipping over things. Come backwards to the front report, if you would, please. Any questions or comments on the fund report?
Jocelyn, you see me out of whack down the year here?
No, did you have questions?
Any comments or questions, anyone? Hearing none, we would have a motion to approve the fund report.
Make a motion.
Thank you, and a second?
I will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now moving on to payment of bills.
And there were a lot of them.
There were a lot of them, but these were also a lot of MVH bills for the street projects that we had this month. And then we also have the storm drain repair at Nelson Park.
Yeah.
Any questions or comments on the payment of the bills?
I'll make a motion to accept the payment of the bills.
And a second?
I'll send.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Fantastic. Jocelyn, other than the letter from Woodruff, did you have any other correspondence? Okay. And this is a letter from Woodruff and Sons, sending happy holiday wishes and letting us know that there was a donation made on behalf of, on our behalf for the town, to the Salvation Army, Boys and Girls Club of Port County, and Meals on Wheels by Woodruff and Sons. So, thank you to Woodruff and Sons for that, and we wish them a Merry Christmas.
Nice.
All right, moving on to reports. Do we have anything for MS4 tonight, Mike?
I got a quick report.
Just for MS4?
Yes,
This one, okay.
yes. MS4 now that we're finished with leaves, and there's a form that we need to turn in. It's talking about outliers, water that goes from Trail Creek out of Trail Creek. That report, some of it needs to be done during dry times or dry season. And we feel like it's been a couple of days and it's been dry, so we're gonna go out either tomorrow or the next day and check out those outliers. And then we'll be able to complete, I believe that'll be the last form that we owe MS4.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Welcome.
Anything for our attorney this month?
Nothing much. We did meet Warren, Steve, and Chief. We met at the Harding Street Properties and had some discussions about how to move forward. After reviewing some of those citations, I really just need to get the building commissioner to issue any current ones, but I started preparing the demolition docs. So that should all be ready for your December consideration to move that forward.
January?
Or, yeah, January, sorry. But that's all I have.
Okay.
Chris, could you explain I know you've done it before, one more time with the step-by-step process from this point on?
The step-by-step is we're gonna do a few things. One is just send out some updated citations. Some of those are dated, some are liens, so they're on the property regardless. We will send them notice. We'll need to have a public hearing at some point before you and send them formal notice, and those that we can't reach directly, we'll publish those, have that hearing and determination, which will then empower you to move forward with demolition if that's what you decide to do.
Okay.
Make bids if that's what you decide to do. So, collection efforts on citations is another way. Those don't necessarily have to be related, but we need to go full steam ahead, as it's been mentioned before, and by you, it's been a long time coming, and especially after seeing the condition of those. I mean, they're completely abandoned, taxes are paid on them, people are upkeeping that portion, but I mean, they're completely dilapidated.
And what happens, it's hypothetical on the, I don't know, let's just say we demolition, we decided and we've demoed. Now what happens?
Well,
Is that ours, is that theirs?
it's
or-
not yours until you foreclose that lien, so there'd be a lien for that amount against the property. Then you can foreclose that lien, that judgment, that lien against the property, and then it starts to get handled much like a mortgage foreclosure, where there'd be bidders, you're gonna be paid because you have a secured interest. If nobody bid on it, you potentially own that. There are a lot of possibilities that come through that. Somebody could buy your interest out and you could be out altogether, and they could, so you have options in terms of how it ultimately plays out. But if you go through to fruition of demolition, that's gonna be on your dime up front. But it won't be lost money, but it'll be money out of pocket until you move it forward. So if it sits there and then we don't get their attention somehow through this process, I would, my further recommendation at some point would be to step up and move forward and try to foreclose on their lien so you have a chance to recoup where it goes to a public sale. So you can recoup that sooner than later. But you're still looking at probably at least 6 months out before you get an ultimate resolution of any of that at least.
Ultimately, we want them to come forward and potentially maybe create a plan with whatever they're gonna do with the property, and then create a timeline, and if they don't meet the timeline, then we.
Yeah, that's right. But we've sent the correspondence before.
Right.
Building commission, you guys have written enough citations, like I said, some of them are stale. There are some liens that remain against the property. I think writing a new batch of them, that gives us another avenue to go through and collect those if you'd like to. But I've still not received anything from the new purported owner, so.
So,
Okay.
Chris, do those liens, are they like permanent, or do they run out after a certain amount of time?
Some liens do, up to 10 years for judgment liens and those kinds of things, so the dates I don't know offhand. They aren't forever for sure.
Right.
But they're all new enough that I don't think that you have an issue with the current liens on there.
Right.
But the citations are what gets stale faster in terms of not being enforceable, which is why we do a new round of citations to get their attention on terms of the condition of the property.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Moving on to our engineer. How are you, Ken?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I just got a couple of things. The CCMG 2023 project is now in the closeout phase. I think Sam sent Jocelyn a letter saying what needs to be done from now on. There's 5 documents. The closeout letter, the calculation sheet for the closeout, the fully executed change order number 1, the final pay request and recommendation, and the canceled checks that should total $310,673.02. And I think we have everything except the canceled checks. So we're waiting for those. I don't know if you sent everything else to Marcia already,
No,
or
we'll
you're
send
waiting.
it all at once, that's what we're saying.
So waiting for the canceled checks, and then they'll all be sent to Marcia Blansett at NDOT, and that'll close out the project. As for the next project in CCMG, I know that there was a meeting Sam told me about where we decided not to come up with a asset management plan in December of this year, but wait till next year, so because the coffers are kind of depleted right now, and we need some time to replenish it. So first call 2025 in January, we'll have a new plan for pavement rehabilitation, rehab, whatever. So we'll have to have the AMP done in December of this coming year. So we'll be keeping an eye on that, and that'll give you a chance to rev up the engines and fill those coffers up so we can have a nice project.
Well, then it gives us also time to kind of look at all the streets thoroughly and come up with a really good plan.
Right.
So,
Right. The other thing that I have is on Nelson Park, the sinkhole fix. Got a call to go out there from Smith and Sons before they backfilled everything, so I went out there and took a look at it. And I noticed a couple of things that are kind of wonky on this thing. You know, before you dig, you have all the utilities located. Everything got located except for this 1.5-inch line that runs right over the top of the storm sewer. As a matter of fact, it's laying right on top of the pipe. So they were telling me that when they were digging it up, the laborer in the hole found 4 of them, 4 holes in an 18-foot span. And he actually went right through the piping place where he was standing, just collapsed underneath him. It's a 15-inch corrugated pipe, and I think what happened was, and I'm only speculating here, I don't have any proof because I don't even know what this thing is, but I think they directionally bored it, and the boring probably clipped the top of those corrugations 4 times in that span. So there may be more downstream where we didn't open it. But they replaced it with a corrugated pipe that has a smooth interior, where the one that they replaced was corrugated inside and out. So it was basically just a thin wall, and every time the drill came through and clipped the top of the pipe, created a hole, and of course the soil above it filtered into the hole and got washed away by the stormwater in the pipe. So I would recommend TVing that line even further down to see how far that goes. So still don't know what that pipe was, but it was marked number 6 AWG. AWG stands for American Wire Gauge. I don't know what it's for. So and the locating company didn't mark it, so they don't know what it is or that it's even there.
So I thought the 4500 was also supposed to include, like you said, TVing the inside of that. Was it only for a certain portion of it? I thought they were going to go like a little bit further on either side.
I wasn't involved with that part of it on getting the contractor. I thought they were actually going to be doing them because there was other work B&M was doing in the town, and they thought they could piggyback it on, and then that didn't happen. So I'm not sure
Yeah, I thought that was
what
that.
happened, but I would definitely take a look and see if there's more holes along the way and more areas that need to be watched.
Okay.
So it starts right by the swing set, right? There's a manhole there. Because it comes across from my corner and goes
Yes.
into that, and then from there it goes
All the way to the
west,
street.
goes down to Risky,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it does go down to Risky, you think? And is that what you wanted to, I think we would.
Well, it goes down to Edgemore at least,
Yep,
and I'm not sure where it goes from there.
yeah.
But
So just the playground property we want to scope.
yeah, because that's where this AWG.
Yep.
So it's running parallel with it, not perpendicular to it.
It's parallel. It's like I said. It's
Right on top
Right
of it.
on top of the pipe. There's then that. The storm sewer is about 3.5 feet from the ground surface to the top of the pipe, and the pipe's 15 inches in diameter. And this thing just sits right on top of it. I mean, that's nothing that has to be done immediately. It's not an emergency. It's something to keep on the list of things to do. But it should be checked
That's
out.
not utility of anything coming through that pipe.
Well, I don't know I don't even know what's in it. Just because it says it's number 6 AWG doesn't mean that's what's inside of it.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Okay.
That's all I have.
Thank you. And I don't see a representative from our park department here tonight. Sharon, do you know if they had a meeting?
No,
Okay.
not that I was aware, no one called.
Okay, so we'll have no report there. And I see our building inspector in the audience tonight. Nice to see you.
You too.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well.
I was basically just here to kind of back up what Chris already said, so.
All right, thank you.
Steve, just out of curiosity, I know it's kind of pulling out of your hat here in a second. In a year's time, can you roughly say how many inspections you had to pull this ballpark-ish in those last year?
Probably 50 to 60-ish.
Just,
Most of them being roofs.
yep, oh, yeah. And then the other inspectors, do you know anything about those guys?
That I don't know.
Yeah.
Every now and then I'll get a call from Paul or Mr. Switzer about doing an inspection, but I have no idea. Josh,
Paula maybe does 20 to 30 a year,
yeah,
and Dave maybe 50.
okay.
And any violations that we probably mentioned, but I don't remember.
Yeah, so, is that a Baptist church on Cool Spring? They redid their kitchen. So they had just an electrical violation that they caught and they fixed it, but
Nothing major or anything going?
no, it's just, they needed to put GFI breakers in their panel.
Yeah.
So, but luckily you caught that.
Okay, I'm just curious. Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Anything for planning and zoning? Okay. And we're down to our police department.
Good evening. Good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Real quick, as you've seen, the radar signs are up and operational and functional. They're working quite well. Really pleased with how they turned out. I can't give enough kudos to the street department for jumping on that. I know you were out there and got some war wounds. They were not easy to, as you would think, to upright because they were quite heavy and top heavy. But Dave and Mike did an awesome job. I come by a lot in my pickup truck, my personal truck, and I see brake lights when they get to these signs, and really that's what they're for. The positive feedback I'm getting is, one, it's a reminder, they're reminded to look at their speed, they're going too fast. And the other is, what other people are doing. It gives them a heads up that somebody's coming up, a lot faster than they are. So, very good addition. Hope to add some more soon. Mobile sign, the weather's been kind of above average, so we've left that out a little bit longer. It should be gone by the end of this week, put away for the season. And lastly, all of our training is complete and input, so we have our mandatory training hours done for the year 2023. Looking forward to 2024, of which they are holding another crisis intervention team. It's a week-long course, and Sergeant Corpado and both deputies Speakman and Southwell will be attending. It's an amazing course, and I'm glad that they're able to do that. I took it earlier this year. You're familiar with it, and I know I've explained to it what it is, and looking forward to having them certified as well. That's all I got.
From what I understand, we will be the first town or city, if you will, in this area that has 100% participation in CIT training, so.
That's gonna change quickly.
So that-
A lot of people are.
Right, but we'll be the first of many
Right.
to get that done, so.
Yeah, and it's come in handy a lot. I was invited back to talk to some other people from the state about our CIT program that the county has and how it's influenced my job. And somebody recommended I go and talk to them. It makes you feel good when you get noticed by your peers for that. So,
Fantastic, thank you.
you have any questions for me?
None?
No? Okay. Lauren's got that look. Yeah, we thank you for your support. It's always appreciated.
Yeah, all good.
Okay. Moving on to ADA,
No, street department.
street department. I was gonna skip right over to Mike.
I don't
My
want
glasses
to.
back on my face.
Street department, leaf season is over. It's a wrap, I think someone said on Facebook. And thank you for keeping up on the Facebook posts. I know we had two different going. Steve, thank you for your police department.
So you guys you work hard the whole
We appreciate that. And we're seeing a lot of likes, a lot of good comments for the leaf season. Even though we had an unforeseen delay, we did extend it another week, and we went through Friday, went through town probably 3 full times, got everything that we could see, and ended up at about, I think, 11:30 in the morning, and the town was complete and we left. So that was a fun season. It was interesting. We did more. I'll have to go way back. and see the tonnage, but I think we did more tonnage this year than we ever did on leaves. And that's taken clear over to the city, and I don't know, 123 total loads from the leaf vac we took over this.
How long were you guys down?
5 days, we lost 5 complete work days for that. We do have a sales rep coming in next week. We're gonna discuss some things with the machine with him of some failures that we've seen. Why are they failing? It's not that old. Why are they failing? Why are we deteriorating?
I
so
feel
fast?
the same
We'll
way.
discuss some things with him next week when he gets here.
Okay, good.
All right, any other questions?
Just kudos to the street department for a job well done.
It was our pleasure.
Nice job.
I'm glad this
Nice
started early, like
Oh.
years ago.
Right, yeah, we would have been in big trouble.
Yeah, Mother Nature, smile on us.
Yes.
Yes,
And from this
For sure.
point on, right, for everybody, we can now, if we have any remainder of leaves, we can throw them in the garbage can.
Yes,
That's
into
okay.
a leaf bag and into the garbage
bag
can.
and then can.
Into the lawn and leaf bags,
Yep,
and then into the trash.
with the bag. Okay, not just,
Not just open leaves
okay. Really, I better take
into
care
the
of
big
that.
bag.
Right, thank you, board.
And
Why, what are you good?
Why,
all of the trucks are now converted for plowing?
Not yet,
Okay.
we're gonna do the leaf truck, we're gonna convert it over to plowing, get it cleaned up and get it all set. So,
Okay, and you should have good weather for that right now. so-
right, yeah, we can get it all cleaned up and get it ready to go, and you'll see us out doing the plowing. Maybe, well, it's supposed to rain Christmas, right?
Yeah, I'm
We'll
not
take
seeing
the
snow.
rain.
Yeah, I'll take
the rain.
We'll take the rain, so.
Oh, we're gonna get hit January, February for sure.
But you'll be out.
We'll be out.
Ready to go.
We'll be out,
All
ready to
right,
go.
thank
Right,
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now moving on to ADA.
Nothing to really report on ADA, except that we'll just, we can keep it on the agenda, and we need to, visit that next year and talk about it for playgrounds.
Certainly.
In addition, I'm just gonna add, we have the sign, still working with the street or school. He was supposed to have something for me tonight, and I haven't seen it. They said they have something to show us. And then we also spoke about, Steve and I spoke about, and maybe you mentioned that last meeting or meeting before, is a flag. Like a centennial flag possibly, and so I'm working on that. I kind of shared some stuff with Steve on that. And if I may, I don't know where to put this one, but I want to keep remodeling on the agenda too. We need to talk about that. I'll be more next month with the new staff and get a plan. And I talked to the contractor, and we are able to maintain the pricing through February.
Okay, good.
So that'll give us a little time to discuss and get a plan.
Okay,
All right,
fantastic. Thank you.
anything on that, Chris?
Well, at some point, you need to make a decision on awarding that bid, and then subject to a contract, and that contract would reflect, if that's what you intend to do, to move forward.
We are still,
Okay. We are still intending to go forward, as far as I know.
Yeah, my understanding is they were gonna be flexible with that, so you're not gonna get locked in, but that extension and your leeway that you want there will come in the contract documents, but
Okay.
it's probably appropriate to authorize a notice to receive and then subject to a contract.
so we should do that tonight?
I believe timing wise, on paper, you have a general person's agreement, but on paper, their bid's only good for 60 days both ways, so my suggestion is that we would, again, if that's your intention.
Right.
And NERC, do we have any reports
I
there?
did attend a meeting on December 7th. They approved the budgets for 2024. And I've got some extra stuff back there if anybody would like to take a look regarding what's happening with NERC.
Fantastic, thank you. Okay, so old business, that would be our notice to proceed. For our holiday group, for the remodeling of the town hall.
And that's why I think would be appropriate is just a motion if you're inclined and to award that bid.
Okay, so do we have a motion to approve and award the bid to Holiday Group for remodeling of the town hall.
I move to approve the bid for Holiday Group for the remodel of the town hall.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And Holiday is HOLADY?
Yeah. Holiday.
Do that right? No.
Mm-hmm. Is it one L or two?
One.
So it's two. It's HOLLADAY.
I looked at that one time.
Okay. We can check on the spelling of that later. Okay,
Yeah, it's 2 Ls.
all right. So moving on to new business, we have the 2024 salary ordinance, which is 1-2024. Should be in everyone's packets this evening. And council, did you have a chance to review that?
Yes.
Any questions?
As you're reviewing it, just want to remind you, so this is being introduced today,
Mm-hmm.
first
Does not-
consideration, so you'll have to
Right.
suspend your rules and unanimously approve.
Correct. Thank you for the reminder. And so for those of you that might not have heard, that we need to suspend the rules on this one and then unanimously approve as a council this ordinance
For
approval on
Same
the first.
introduction.
Right. So hearing no questions or comments, do we have a motion to approve ordinance number 1-2024?
I move to approve ordinance number 1-2024.
Okay, establishing, thank you, Sharon. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. So 1-2024, establishing the salaries for the town for the year 2024. We do have that one correction at the top. Otherwise, we're good to go. MS4 fee. Did you have anything different from ordinance on that for us, or we can table that for next month? Okay. So we'll hold off on that until January.
Yeah, I will follow up with Global.
They had recommended last year that we do a stormwater fee, just to cover their costs.
I agree with that. I don't know that the details, so I will follow up with them to see. I know that's just
Okay.
on the checklist. I don't think that's ready to be considered yet.
Okay, thank you. Moving on to appointments. So we need to reappoint or appoint some folks in different positions this year. Our town marshal, for consideration, we have Steve Dick. Do we have a motion to approve the town marshal?
Make a motion.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, do we have a motion to, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carries. Our street commissioner, Mr. Baker, has decided that he does not want to be the street commissioner this year. So that position is open for right now, and we'll have to take applications again and do consideration for that in January. So we have a motion to table that?
I move to table the street commissioner position until January.
And second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Our building commissioner, Mr. Thomas, has decided that he would like to come back and give us another year. Can we have a motion to approve his reappointment?
Make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
And I'm assuming our electrical and plumbing inspectors are both interested?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so the electrical inspector would be Dave Switzer. We have a motion to approve Mr. Switzer returning.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you, Sharon. And a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And our plumbing inspectors, Mr. Foreman. Can we have a motion to approve reappointment of Mr. Foreman?
Motion.
Thank you, Warren.
I'll second.
Thank you, Sharon. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on to public comment this evening. Oh,
Police advisory board?
those will have to be next month because it's not on our, we don't have any boards or anything on here, so we'll do those in January. Moving on to public comment. Any public comment this evening? Any public comment? That would be you if you're.
That would be me, okay, I didn't know that. Okay. Wow. Sorry, hey, look, I'm new to this, I'm still new to this, this is my
That's
second
okay.
year. So obviously, I'm Kristen Wozniak, I'm the new race director for the St. Stan's 5K, this is my second year doing it, so.
Thank you.
Still learning, it's all a learning curve for me. So I am here tonight to obviously request the approval for the 12th annual St. Stan's 5K. The race will still be held on the first Saturday in June, which in 2024 will be June 2nd. It'll be held at 8 a.m. This year we have a total of 128 participants, which was actually an increase from 2022, which is fantastic. So I'm going to throw a little bit of a wrench in here because that's what I do. So I know in previous years, the race has been held at Nelson Park. This is, the last 12 years, that's where it's been. This location does work, and it has worked in the past, but we do have an issue with parking, obviously. It's very limited. We do have overflow parking at St. Luke's and everything. So this year, I actually spoke with Bob Johnson at the Moose Lodge, and he has agreed to allow the start and finish to be at the Moose.
Okay.
The route would be the exact same, with the exception of the start and finish. This would allow for additional parking for the race to grow. Also, there would be like an actual facility that we can utilize. In the event of rain, we can move registration, we can move awards and everything indoors, which would be great. There's indoor bathrooms, and they have, graciously allowed us to, utilize their facility for that. I do understand that part of Wellnuts is very, it's heavily trafficked, so that might be an issue, especially for the police department. It might be an issue, that might pose as an issue. So if that is an issue that, we can't work out, then I would just request that the original route be approved from the previous years, if that poses as an issue.
Have you talked with the police department
I
about
have
the new
not, I
route?
dropped the ball on that,
Okay.
sorry, Steve, I'm sorry.
Well, let me forget to give you some documents for a case and you're all over it.
No.
We can talk about it, because the only first thing that comes to mind is we would have to actually, like you said, Wellnuts is a busier road, we have to actually have a request to shut the road down.
It would have, that portion would have to be closed, and
Especially with that hill right there, it's not good.
And I understand that's an issue, and I dropped the ball at talking.
That's okay.
I'm sorry, it's, it's been busy. It's kind of just,
We'll make it work. So, you and I can talk, and then
So you're looking just at an approval from us and.
Just approval to have it, and if there is a significant issue with starting and finishing at the Moose, with an issue with Wellnuts, then I would just be, requesting the approval of the original route, which I do have letters, and I do have the proposed new race map attached as well, if you guys want to look at that.
So I want to make a motion to approve the St. Stan's 5K for June 2nd, 2024, pending.
you just said a proposed new race map, is it the same route?
It would be the same route, different start and
Just want to make
finish.
sure that's.
Yeah, same exact route, other than the start and finish.
Pending communication with the PD on the potential of a start-stop placement change.
So I would say pending communication and approval.
Yes.
The new race route.
Second.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or questions? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Any other public comments this evening?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any comments from the clerk?
Yes, I have a few things. So the Blueprint software is on live. All of our inspectors and I believe you, Jenny, are on there. So the training did start. But I did go ahead and schedule training for the 3rd and the 10th as well,
Okay,
so that, and any training that's been done thus far was recorded through Microsoft Teams, and it will also go straight to the town issued emails.
fantastic,
Awesome.
fantastic. Thank you. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Council comments for this evening. I will start, if that's okay with you guys. We did have a request come in writing, and I neglected to bring the memo with me. Nick Corpano meant to submit a memo last month requesting payout of his 10 vacation days that are remaining. He was unable to take any vacation time because Officer Southwell took a significant amount of time off. He's got 10 days that he'd like to have paid out to him. This would require us to adjust the 2023 salary ordinance to accommodate those 10 days, but he doesn't have time to take the days in 2023 at this point. So we need a motion to approve adjustment of the salary ordinance as well as payout of those 10 vacation days for Officer Corpano.
Any sheriff, Steve, or
No.
straightforward there?
It's kind of cattywampus here, yeah, softball needs some vacation time, so we made sure.
Cattywampus.
I think that they didn't quite have their 4th officer out of training completely. And you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong on any of this. And so until Jason was in service fully, they didn't really have another person to cover those hours. So that's
I'll
the
make a
reason.
motion to make the adjustment.
Okay.
I'll second that.
And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. And then I'll follow that up with Joshleen. On behalf of the town, I want to say thank you for your years of service.
I want to echo that sentiment also.
How many years?
14?
It's going to be 6. It's quite a few. And so,
Oh, history.
and we know it's a loss for the town. We know it's a loss for our residents. We just want to say thank you for everything you've
I
done.
appreciate that. Yeah, I've enjoyed serving the residents.
That'd be great.
So on behalf of all of us, again, thank you. Any other council comments for this evening?
No. Merry Christmas.
Hearing
Holidays.
that would be next.
I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Thank
It's been a pleasure.
We do also have 2 other outgoing council
Yes,
members. A little
yes.
bit newer than Joshleen with her
Yes.
service, but
But I know, I just.
both Sharon, well, before I forget, both Sharon and Kyle. Kyle couldn't be with us this evening because he had to work late, but Sharon, thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you.
I know you came in the middle of a term and served all the way through, but thank you for what you have done for us as well and for our residents, with you and Kyle.
I really enjoyed it. I did, but it's time for me to step aside and let everybody else do what they have to do.
We understand. So, thank you. That said, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays to everybody. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn.
That was quick. Do we have a second?
All in favor? Aye.
Do we have a second? I think we got a second over there. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody.